Hey there to my patrons and the people who waited a year. Let me explain what you're watching right now, because for starters, it might be 2026 where you are. So I do an audio podcast called Fix My Car Cast. If you haven't heard of it, welcome. And they all involve gimmicks, and I get video of me doing the gimmicks just to prove that I actually did them. If you're watching this show on YouTube, great, thanks, awesome. Would love if you jumped over to the audio versions though, because they actually have post-production and they're complete. This is more just the raw proof that I did the thing I actually said I was going to do. And what am I doing today? Well, I'm putting a pillowcase on my head because the world makes sense. So let me get a thumbnail. And what's extra fun is that I can't see if the thumbnail's any good because I have a pillowcase over my head. I hadn't even considered that as I'm doing this right now. I think we're good, but there's no way of knowing. Let me think of an opening line. Thankfully, the gimmick is not get shoved in a van this week, but that could happen. Thanks, America in 2025. Didn't mean to go dark, but here we are, in America in 2025. If you're watching this in 2026, hope the show still exists. All right. Oh, this is where I get quiet because this is where the theme song goes. Also, I don't love the angle on this. Oh yeah, my tripod's a little fucky. Okay, we'll get right into this though. But yeah, this is where the theme song goes. And I just do this so that I can mentally add 2 minutes to the time code, which is right there where I can see it, but you can't. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. You're listening to Fix My Car Cast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 171. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert is busy sawing logs, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. You would look so cozy, curled up in bed, your little weighted blanket, your adorable stuffies, and Fix My Car Cast written on your gently rising and falling chest as you slumber and dream of a world where everyone loves you. Which brings me to our new segment, Shirt of the Week! On episode 169, I had to write 10 t-shirt slogans, and I plan to make each one actually available to buy on a t-shirt. This week's slogan is, I'd rather be watching Tremors 2 Aftershocks. If you would like that sentence printed on something you can wear, find the link in the description. No new donors this week. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $2,592. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is, I will record an episode at sea. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? Put it to bed. If I've not explained that well enough, I'm deleting everything. It's all gone. End this thing. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever, unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to make it sound like a sweet lullaby? I'll do it, $50. Also, if you would like to own the painting I destroyed in episode 120 of Fix My Car Cast, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. If you'd like to see the painting before you buy it, it can be viewed in the raw video version of episode 120 over on YouTube. Link in the description, and there are more prizes in the queue after that one. You can also see it right here currently in my hands if you're watching the video version of this very episode. The last prize had some secrecy around it, but this one, it's no secret. It's a frame of a painting that I threw into a fire. if you want to own it just because it was on Fix My Carcast, that's your choice. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is my hidden talents. I can do some pretty neat but pretty useless stuff. No, besides this podcast. Want to know more? Donate today. Are you looping it on mute? Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most. And our big winner is Westbrook, Maine. Congratulations, Westbrook, Maine. Let it be known that your Chaska Curling Center, Hazeltine National Golf Club, and Schramm House Brewery are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about Tanegashima while eating an apple with a knife. You can see video of the original recording, plus a little extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about the truth about Chad. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: do it like a rodeo, incorporate 25 pizza toppings, take off all my clothes, and our returning gimmick, play Chubby Bunny. Let's review. Number 1, do it like a rodeo. I will do it with all the trappings of a rodeo. No, I will not actually film it at a rodeo, but that could be one in the future. Who knows? The possibilities are endless here on Fix My Carcast. Yeah, I'll just make it sound like a rodeo, do it like a rodeo announcer. We'll have stats. It'll be fun. I'm sure the topic will be like, watermelon salad or something, and somehow I'll make it all rootin' and tootin'. Number 2, incorporate 25 pizza toppings. That's right. I will somehow sneak the names of 25 common, or maybe a little out there, pizza toppings into the episode. 25 foods was too vague. 25 pizza toppings. Let's go. Number 3, take off all my clothes. Yeah, you little freaks. You want to see that on an audio podcast? Well, I will do it on the video version as well. But yes, I will start the episode wearing all kinds of clothes, and by the end, I will be devoid of all kinds of clothes. I promise. No, you won't see any of the goodies. That costs extra. And number 4, our returning gimmick, play Chubby Bunny. You know, the game where you put a marshmallow in your mouth every minute or so and see if you can still talk. I'll do that. So if your team mouthful of schmellows, well, vote for Chubby Bunny. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, May 15th at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is wear a pillowcase over my head. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. Oh boy. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode, so I'll take inspiration from a randomized Wikipedia page, which is going to be so difficult to see with a pillowcase over my head. But this is why we do the gimmicks, folks. This show can't be easy. Can you imagine a podcast that was just people talking? The fucking worst. Who would listen to that? Probably about some movie, maybe that they watch a minute at a time, or maybe a movie that's really bad. So, for starters, I'm already having trouble. I do want people to know I can see through the pillowcase. Interestingly, I was going to tell you what the pillowcase is, but no, I need incentive for you to join the Patreon. I will say, for our video viewers, I wore a different pillowcase for the thumbnail, because I wanted you to be surprised too. But don't tell anyone what it is. Shh. I'm sure it'll be an amazing surprise, and everyone is really curious what kind of pillowcase I have over my head. So, the topic we still don't have yet. I have got the clicker hovered over the next page on the random Wikipedia. Now, I have been contemplating that maybe I should start taking stubs because it keeps the improv more fresh. It's more of a challenge for me. Use it more as a jumping off point rather than going, well, there's not enough information in this one, so how can I talk for 30 minutes? Hey, that's my job. I'm the host. I'm improvising. It is my job to fill this time. So how do you feel, listeners? How do you feel? Should I just take the first thing that comes up? Because if I was going to do that, it would be Memphis Tigers Track and Field. I'll be completely honest, I can see the title very clearly. I can see through this pillowcase honestly pretty well. If anything, the gimmick is more about maybe the sound quality. I don't know if it's rustling the mic, but I'm willing to bet it probably is. And also, I took my glasses off because I was afraid of them getting fogged up in here. I do want to state that I did not try on a pillowcase preemptively before this. I did try on a separate one to get the thumbnail, but I did not practice wearing a pillowcase on my head or anything like that. So I'm finding out in real time, same as you, how hard it is to see in this thing. And I gotta be honest, the title, Memphis Tigers Track and Field, I can see pretty clearly. But I'm not gonna lie, when I scroll down, I bet I won't have as easy a time reading the smaller text. I can kind of see it. The Memphis Tigers Track and Field team is the track and field program that represents University of Memphis. Okay, I would consider this article stub E. It's probably not a stub by traditional definitions, but it is mostly stats. And it is very hard to improvise off of stats. But considering this week's gimmick is one where reading the page is really difficult, and it doesn't have that much information anyway, I feel like, yeah, maybe just this once, or maybe for the rest of this show, let's truly just go with the first thing that comes up. Hell, if you don't mind me like showing you how the sausage is made, it tends to be the plot ones. It tends to be the ones where I'm doing it like an episode of something, where I'm like, I can't just take a stub because I got nothing to go off of. Like, I need to incorporate it into it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like I need to strengthen myself. I need to become stronger. And what you're seeing right now is a vision of a person becoming stronger. So let's talk Memphis Tigers Track and Field. So Memphis, now I'm assuming that's Tennessee, but I'm betting there's more than one place with a Memphis. University of Memphis, the Tigers, oh yeah, this is getting harder to read. The Tigers compete in NCAA Division I as a member of the American Athletic Conference. Is it cheating to pull the pillowcase taut against my face so that I can read a little better? The Tigers compete in NCAA Division I as a member of the American Athletic Conference. The team is based in Memphis, Tennessee at the Billy J. Murphy Track and Soccer Complex. Okay, so yeah, it is hard to read, but Billy J. Murphy, sorry, whoever you are, you have too good a name for that not to be part of the annals of Fix My Carcast, and also in the buttholes of Fix My Carcast. Yeah, we need to get Billy J. Murphy in here. Billy J. Murphy is an incredible name, and I'm not just biased because I am also a Billy. I'm a Billy with an I-E. This is a Billy with a Y. I don't know the gender of Billy J. Murphy, but I have my guesses. But yeah, I kind of want to learn all about Billy J. Murphy. That's just, it's just a real catchy name. All right, let me see what else we got here in this here article. And see is probably a strange word to use right now. I mean, I'm seeing it, but through a filter. You know, like we all see the world through our own personal filters and biases and the things that have shaped us as a human being. You know, we all look in the mirror and ask, what has led me to this exact moment in my perfect and wonderful life? But enough about that. The Memphis Tigers program is coached by Kevin Robinson. The track and field program officially encompasses 4 teams as the NCAA regards men's and women's indoor track and field and outdoor track and field as separate sports. Okay, that's cool. That's a thing I'm learning. I am not a sportist. I don't do much with sports. As a matter of fact, I hate sports so much that our rival podcast is Go My Favorite Sports Team, hosted by Markiplier, my nemesis. For no reason other than one episode randomly, I had to choose a nemesis, and Markiplier came up. So, grr, Markiplier, I'm so upset at whatever you do and the ways that you do it. Grr, you're officially on the shit list of Fix My Car Cast. Grr, I hope your podcast ends. And for all I know, it has, because I don't ever look into this. Grr. Anyway, take that, Markiplier. You're not on my team, be it indoor men's, indoor women's, outdoor men's, or outdoor women's. Hey, want to talk about trans issues in sports? Me neither. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's get into it, because I don't have a platform to talk about this, and I'm gonna. It's really hard being trans and not giving less than a fuck about sports. And like, oh no, I need to have a stance on this. And like, full stop. Yes, just let the trans people compete. They are the gender they identify with. Full stop. Gender is more complicated than X and Y, but if everything you know about science you got from a Bill Nye episode, well, first of all, me too until I turned 12. Like, you have a child's mind if you complain about this stuff but don't actually look into it. 3,500 scientists worldwide currently agree that gender is more complicated than X and Y. Like, the same people who are like, it's basic science, literally aren't reading the actual science. Hey, I like when the topic takes me to something I actually want to talk about. How about you? And I sure look like a person who has a lot to say that you want to hear. But anyway, yeah, no, let them compete, go fuck yourself, stop being an asshole, etc., etc. But on the other side of things, when people are like, do you support trans athletes in sports? That's kind of like, do you support me wearing a purple shirt while I punch you in the face? Like, well, I'm not really focused on the shirt part. So yeah, I'm focused on the trans part, like equal rights for trans people, what the fuck. But like, I could not give less of a shit about sports, and whenever people start doing their dumb, what if you married a dog-esque hypotheticals about trans stuff, where it's like, oh, let's not even split them up at all, let's have them all on the same team. Okay. Sounds good to me. I don't give less of a shit. But yeah, why are they split that way? Fuck it. And I'm sure some of you can tell me, okay, let's not go nuts. We shouldn't split them up. But like, it really is like, I'm out of my element. This is not my wheelhouse. Like, I have opinions on this for the trans side, but for the sports side, you know, yeah, part of the reason I don't do stubs is because I just bitch about sports every time it's a sports topic. And bitch, I must. Yeah, no, I'll never have the part of my brain that like will find sports interesting. I'm just like, okay, why do I care if one team wins? Like I like to play a sport. I'll play a little fucking frisbee or whatever, but like that's fun because you're playing it with your friends. The second it's, no, we're just all gonna watch these people, I'm like, oh, and by the way, there are some activities that don't usually have people watching that I'm super into. But with sports, y'all are a bunch of freaks. Really? You leave the house for this? They're just trying to play a fun little game. What are you doing? Get out of there, you weirdos. I'm kidding. I don't want to sports shame. But I guess we should talk about the Memphis Tigers or whatever the fuck. And good old Billy J. Murphy and Kevin Robinson. Every name in this article seems fake. I don't know why. Those are fairly simple names, but I don't know why. It just feels like if someone like forced you at gunpoint to make up a name, you'd be like, Billy J. Murphy, Kevin Robinson. Wait, is Kevin Robinson the name of a character in an SNL sketch? Wow, did my brain just go down a deep hole? Isn't that the bitch who wanted a donut? If you don't watch SNL, you are like, what the fuck are you talking about, person with a pillowcase on your head? Look, this show's ridiculous, but consider the alternative. It could be not ridiculous, and then where would we be? All right, let's learn more about these 4 teams, which are, of course, men indoors, men outdoors, and women outdoors, which, frankly, I'm a fan of all of those things until they get the track and field involved in there. Also, what is track and field? What is the actual event? I feel so dumb, but off the top of my head, I don't know what that is. It sounds like 2 events. Like, if basketball was called hoop and ball, like, I'd be like, oh, okay, so, like, how is it played? How does it work? What's the hoop part? What's the ball part? Folks, I'm very embarrassed. I just tried to look at the clock because I can't see the time code on my camera because the digits are simply too small. I'm leaning in and I still cannot see them. And I gotta be honest, this is exciting. It is very fun to do an episode without being able to tell how long you've been talking, how much time you are filling up, and I think I'm going to commit to that. Now, if I really grab the camera, bring it close to my face, I'm sure I could see how long I've been talking for. But right now, I truly have no idea, and what's extra embarrassing is I tried to look at a clock in the background, and this is embarrassing on a few levels. That clock is broken, that clock doesn't have a battery in it, and that is deliberate because it is set to 10:04 p.m. Now, if I have to explain that to you, first of all, there's literally no way I haven't mentioned that on this show at some point. Probably a bonus episode. But anyway, my clock is deliberately set to 10:04 p.m. and 0 seconds. And I just tried to look at it to see how long I've been talking, which, by the way, I don't remember when I started, so that's why I'm embarrassed on so many levels. I'm embarrassed I looked at a broken clock. I'm embarrassed I looked at a clock without ever noting when I started, and I'm a little bit embarrassed of why the clock is set to that time. But only a little bit, because I'm really trying to embrace that I'm an amazing and unique person. You know, it's so important in this world to embrace your uniqueness. Like, I know it's a cliche, but like, if we were all the same, what a boring world. Now, there are powerful people out there who want to make us all the same, who want us to be predictable, because when you're predictable, you're able to be controlled. Anyway, thanks for coming to the show where I have a pillowcase on my head while I tell you about the Memphis Tigers sports team. Where was I with all this? I don't know. I think I'm just really enjoying the fact that when someone is speaking words of wisdom with a pillowcase over their head, it kind of negates the message, and I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Let's learn more about the Memphis Tigers. Like in 2018, Luke Vaughn. We're at our 3rd fake name, folks. I don't know what it is. I don't know why these names are just hitting me as like, these sound fake. These all sound fake. In 2018, Luke Vaughn gave Memphis its first national track and field title since 1981 by winning the discus throw. Okay, so track and field is multiple things, right? Okay, off the top of my head, I'm going to try to guess what track and field is. There's some kind of meter dash, there's a relay race, discus, hammer throw, javelin? Is that its own thing? I don't know. Shot put, long jump, caber toss. Okay, that last one, no. But yeah, what the fuck is track and field? I don't know. Let's learn. And again, I'm sure that some of you are yelling. You know, I'd say out of the percentage of my audience, probably 2 out of 5 of you are yelling at your iPod because you're like, Billy, how can you know this little about sports? Anything is possible, kids. As I want to say Kevin Garnett said, which I only know because of a Lonely Island song. I only know about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because of Airplane. And I only know about, oh, this is so embarrassing. Michael Jordan is in Space Jam 1 and 2 is LeBron James? Tell me I got that right. Like, I know so little about sports. It's terrifying. And folks, this one's really embarrassing and borderline offensive. I always forget which basketball player died in the helicopter crash. And whenever somebody brings up a basketball player, I have to pause and go, was that the helicopter one? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone involved and affected by that tragedy, but it's true. Right now in this moment, I'm afraid to say Kobe Bryant? Was it Kobe Bryant? I think it was. I'm just trying to remember the names of athletes I've said today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant, and they all play basketball, I do believe. You could sponsor a topic where I just have to name as many athletes as I possibly can. You know what? Yeah, I'll make it a gimmick. I'll make it a gimmick next week. I have to name 25 athletes. I don't think I can do it. I promise not to research in advance. That'll be next week's. I don't think I've ever done this on the podcast. Have I ever told you what a gimmick will be for the next one? Well, coming up, 25 athletes. You heard it here first, folks. I will try to name 25 athletes. I believe I just barely named 5. It just is not my wheelhouse, and that's okay. I'm sure you know amazing things about paella and kayaking that I'll never know, but you know all about them. I can tell you all kinds of things about time travel movies and mermaids, like that you probably don't know. That's just how the world works. We've all got different skills. Now let's start Avengersing together so we can get these motherfuckers. Which motherfuckers? Well, I'll tell you all about it on the bonus episode. Folks, I gotta say, the pillowcase on the head, it's giving me a real squirrely energy that I like. I still do not know how long I've been talking, which is extra funny because I have company coming over very soon, quite literally at the end of when this episode should end. I literally hear footsteps outside, so maybe it's time for me to end. It may possibly have already been 30 minutes. I highly doubt it, but let me get to the end of this article, and then we'll see if I have anything more to say, and then I'm going to wrap it having no idea how long I've been talking for. If you got an extra short episode this week, sorry, there was a pillowcase on my head. Shouldn't have voted for that. Okay, postseason AIAW. The Tigers had 4 AIAW All-Americans finishing in the top 6 at the, holy shit, I cannot see a thing, A1AW Track and Field Championships. And then it's just a bunch of names. Maybe these names sound real. Wanda Hooker, Deborah Spencer, Jill Ford, Mary Walker, and Wanda Hooker once again. NCAA, as of 2024, a total of 29 men and 8 women have achieved All-American status at the, oh my God, at the men's outdoor, women's outdoor, men's first team, Gerald Tinker. God, all these names are great. Maurice Knight, Lynn Fox, Ed Taylor, Paul Bannon, Taryn Wright, Nick Brooks, Tyrone Betters, Got Micklebust, Got Micklebust. Every name in here, a gem. Charlotte Abrahamson, Susan King, Stephen Nerdle, Richard Lowe. I mean, yeah, it's just names all the way down, folks. So that's your Memphis Tigers track and field team. So go Tigers! And as always, grab a tiger by the tail. Feed a man for a lifetime. Oh my God, folks, you have no idea what a day I've had. It's gonna sound like a humble brag. I don't care. My morning was disrupted by 2 different people basically confessing they have a crush on me. Just being honest, folks, just being honest. But you know what? Who wouldn't love this? Let's see if I can hit the stop button without being able to